We all have to deal with setbacks in life. It's gonna happen at one time or another. Sometimes you can sense it happening, and other times it's gonna slap you right in the face. Disappointments, failures, and setbacks in life are normal. So if you're going through any one of those, you're in the right place. What inspired me to make this video is because I recently suffered a bit of a setback, which kind of came out of nowhere. And it got me thinking and asking myself, Tori, am I handling this setback right? Could I be doing something different to help me? Is there a way that I can encourage and help others who are also going through setbacks in their life as well? They are a reality of life. You have two choices. You can either sit and wallow in them, or you can brush yourself off, get yourself up, and get back on your feet again. Today we will be exploring tips on how you can handle setbacks, facing them head on, and how to deal with them when they happen. Now, this first tip might come as a bit of a surprise. It's probably gonna be the opposite of what you think I'm gonna say. I do think when you hit a setback that you should take time to sit in it. Get your emotions out and reflect on what's happened. The big problem is that this is where the majority of people stay, in this spot. And we call that wallowing. Another word for it that we like to use on this channel is emotional indulgence. If you are finding that a setback in life has got you stuck, ask yourself honestly, just between you and I, am I wallowing in this? Why have I not moved from this spot yet? Am I emotionally replaying the failure over and over again? We've all been there. This brings us to tip number 2, embrace failure. Failure is a huge part of success. What? Yes, it is. You need failure in order to succeed. His Royal Airness, Michael Jordan, has missed over 9,000 shots in his career. He was trusted to take 26 game-winning shots and missed. And he is quoted saying, "I failed over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed." Michael Jordan has failed over and over again in his life, and that is why he is as successful as he was and he still is.
Can we just talk about the shoes? The shoes, the Jordans. I want a big house where it's all Jordans on the wall.
Failure is not something to be ashamed of. I know it's our natural instinct to be ashamed of it, but it's actually the building block to success. You need to reframe how you see failure in your head. I think because we live in a society that's instant, our culture is like instant gratification right now. I want it now. We think we should get everything right here, right now. And when things don't happen straight away for us, as they often don't, we think we failed massively, and that's simply not true. And I think that is why we have somewhat of a warped view of what failure really is. Failure should not stop you or slow you down. It should motivate you. Failure is not you losing. It's simply taking a step towards your success. So maybe today you need to reframe what failure really is and see it in a more positive way. If you are enjoying this video so far and getting some value from it, it would really help me if you hit on that like, maybe share it with a friend who needs to hear it as well, and hit that bell so you can find out when the next video is going to be up, which usually is on a Friday. Tip 3, when disappointment comes, take time to reassess and adjust. We all deal with a variety of disappointments in our lives, and oftentimes they can be setbacks, right? They can often range from the everyday sort of stuff that happens to the big life disappointments. It's really important when disappointment hits you in the gut that you take the time to reassess what's going on and then adjust your expectations. Let me give you a real world example of both a small disappointment and a pretty large one. So every day I plan what I want to do for that day, what I need to achieve, and so on. Sometimes I can wake up if I'm having a flare up or if I'm just not doing well. I will wake up too sick to even get out of bed and take a shower. And I'll probably end up spending most of the day in bed, even though I don't want to. And I will beat myself up so hard that I could not achieve the things that I'd set myself out to do that day. Because I feel like I've majorly failed, even though it's completely out of my control. Sometimes I get so disappointed that my body cannot keep up with my mind. I end up feeling completely disheartened and honestly less motivated to tackle things the next day. What do I need to do when it comes to daily situations like this? I need to stop and assess the reality of what's going on. And then I need to adjust. Much easier said than done. Maybe I need to readjust the expectations I have for myself when I'm having a bad day. You might think that that's such a small change, but it can have such such big results in your life if you take control of your expectations. I don't know why I'm doing this. Sometimes for me, just being able to get into the shower and wash my hair is a big dub. I celebrate it. As stupid as that sounds to you, for me, sometimes it's a really big deal that I'm even able to make it into the shower. I actively keep assessing and readjusting because my days can be so varied. I can wake up, have a good day, or I can wake up and have a absolutely awful day that actually then lasts into like a week. I have learned the art, and it is an art and it is a choice. I have learned the art of taking one day at a time, and in that day, taking one thing at a time. It's like a dot to dot to dot to dot to dot. You're just going from one dot to the next dot to the next dot to the next. Okay, so what about when you hit a really big life disappointment? They can hurt a lot. You do the same thing. You look at the reality of what's going on, you reassess, and you adjust your expectations because you are in control of those expectations. I had a whole 10-year plan and some, and my life has literally, I couldn't even write this. It's literally taking the opposite route. The opposite. Now I'm 35. I'm finding it a bit comical now how different my life has become from what I had planned for it to be. I had years and years and years of wallowing in the fact that my life did not match up to this plan that I had made for myself. I tried to force life. Didn't work. I tried to ignore the reality of the fact that I am severely chronically sick, and that didn't work either. I've recently in another video spoke about a reality check that my consultant gave me that hit me really hard, but it was what I needed to hear. And that has been a pretty big line in the sands for me. And it gave me the self-awareness I needed to assess what was going on and to do what was in my control, which was to adjust the expectations I had for my life now and my life going forward. I had to embrace massive change that I did not want. I did not want all of this. I did not want my life to turn out this way, but I've had to embrace it. And I've also had to stop trying to avoid the fact that this has happened. Assess the reality, readjust your expectations, and be open to something new. This is going to be a game changer for you if you are going through big setbacks in your life. Tip 4, be around people who encourage you and build you up. This is so important, and I think people have probably rolled their eyes because of what I just said. The people you choose to have around you will 100% have a big impact on how you deal with your setbacks. If your friends and family are negative, they're lazy, they have a victim mindset, they're skeptical and pessimistic and so on, that will 100%, hearing all of those things and being around all of that, that will help you stay stuck where you are. Find people who encourage you, who inspire you, who cheer you on, who challenge you, and who will celebrate the wins with you, however big and however small they are. You do become like the people you hang around. That is not a fact you can just avoid or pretend that it's not real. You do become like the people you hang around, which is why I have to constantly watch who I allow to speak into my life and which voices I have speaking around me. This is all a part of being an adult and being mature and making wise choices for your life. But Tori, what happens when you're mainly alone? I can also empathize with that because I have spent many years in isolation. But here's something practical you can do if you find yourself in that place where you are alone and you feel alone and there aren't many people around you. Go on YouTube, hear me out. Go on YouTube and search for motivational videos. Nah, but seriously, this actually works. Go on YouTube and search for motivational videos. Put in your earphones so the sound is closer to your brain and head, and play one. There are so many good ones out there. Some range from being very short to being 2 or 3 hours long. I want you to soak in everything that person is saying as if they're saying it to you, because they are. The person is speaking to you. Soak it in. Act like it's a friend giving you a pep talk. Look at the images in the video because oftentimes they have some really inspirational clips that for me, I'm very visual, so I like to listen and watch. Or perhaps you find it easier to close your eyes and just focus on the voice that is speaking. Do this whenever you're feeling low and need a bit of an oomph to either start the day or get through it. When you're going through a setback, you need to feed your mind and your heart with positive talk. Tip 5. Expect the setbacks and find the lessons in it. Setbacks are not a personal failure on your part. Yeah, maybe you made a mistake or you made a bit of a foolish choice. Maybe you missed an opportunity, or maybe you realized you could have just done something better. But setbacks are a natural thing that happen to everyone. Expect it. We talked about control coping in my previous video about how to handle change. And in that we explored how to take a practical approach to change. We need to decide beforehand how we are going to respond to setbacks that happen in our lives. We need to make a choice of what we are going to do before it happens. We plan our response to it instead of allowing our emotions and reactions to take full reign in this situation. Also, when a setback hits, we make a decision to find the lesson in it, because there will be one. I believe that with everything we face in life, good and bad, there is something we can learn from it. Learn from the setback. Sometimes a setback in life reveals something that we actually need to change about ourselves or our environment. Make a choice to find the lesson in the unexpected that life throws at you. This will, I promise you, make you more self-aware as you continue through your journey in life. A setback is not the ending. It might actually be the beginning of something new. One door shuts, so another one can open. Embrace it. I wouldn't be here in front of you guys doing something that I love if my life hadn't turned out this way, because all the things that have transpired up until now that have been really painful, really hard, have set me back, I feel like years. They've all brought me to this point, and they've all given me a passion to be able to help others who might be going through similar things. Thank you for choosing to hang out with me today, and I will see you in the next one.